Antelope Audio left me speechless, and I know this is an audio interface review, but I don't quite understand the pricing on this specific interface. Now hear me out, I'm the one who has a lot of experience with Antelope Audio. I have their Zengo, I have now Zenith 2, I have the Galaxy, I had multiple interfaces from them, and I know what they offer and how good they actually are. Now this review is something completely different, because we are reviewing their most affordable audio interface, Zenith 2. Matter of fact, to make sure this is not something promotional or something like that, I'm actually using that interface, the Zenith 2, to record this video. So the audio you're hearing now is directly from this Zenith 2. And I don't have heavy processing using analog gear. I'm making sure you get almost the raw audio, so it sounds actually nice to you and so you can hear how it performs on my voice. Now let's start from the build quality and the looks, which is highly important to me. Maybe it's not for you, it's important to me, because I like my studio to be just beautiful. This interface has that like green finish, and the build quality is absolutely insane. It's solid, it's metal, you have rarely any plastic, and I really like how it feels when you twist the knobs, when you basically look at it and how it sits in the studio. Perfect for that, no doubt about that. No knobs are wobbly, nothing is like out of place. Now let's get to the specifics and where this interface shines and why I don't really understand the pricing point behind this interface. Again, as someone who has multiple day interfaces, they're very well known for their conversion and their preamps quality. Now the thing with this one is that it has those preamps that you have in higher audio interfaces from them, those like $500, $600, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 pieces. This one has the same preamps. Now you can't really compete with that, and I know what they offer. I also have the class-leading AD-DA conversion with 123 dB of dynamic range, which is definitely enough for you to have. Of course, as an audio interface, it features phantom power if your microphone actually needs it. In this case, I'm using the Fluid Audio Ray, directly routed to Zenith 2. And it requires phantom power. You also have the high-Z, you have the line input. It depends on what you're going to record. That's very obvious. And expect, honestly, every interface to have such things. If an interface doesn't have this, I mean, I don't really need it in my setup. Now on the front panel you also have two outputs for the headphones. On the side panel you have MIDI if you want to route some controllers or some keyboards or whatever you basically want to have. That's very useful. On the back panel you have outputs for your monitors and you have two inputs, and that means that this interface has two preamps, two discrete preamps, those world-class preamps from those higher-end interfaces I mentioned in this video, so your recordings will be very smooth, very clean. No doubt about that, and I don't need to get into any details about this because those who know Antelope Audio, they know what I'm talking about. It's USB-C powered, so you won't be having any issues connecting it. Just plug it in, register on their website, register a product, activate. That's it, as simple as it gets. Now Antelope Audio is unique for one more thing, it's the DSP processing you have on their interfaces. On Zengo, on other interfaces I have that as well, but on Zenith 2 you have a very unique kind of DSP processing because all the DSP is built in the interface itself and you can switch it from the menu. Now I did some testing, you'll be hearing how I scroll through the presets, I test sibilances, I test my voice through various presets. Now watch me switch through the presets and notice how my voice change. So now I'll start with by saying that S. Notice how the SR works differently. So let's go. S. Very different. Now if I talk like this and just switch from the presets, you're actually hearing me switching through different presets. You'll be noticing how each of them sounds a bit different and it offers various characteristics. As an example, this is the Podcast 1 preset. Now this is the Podcast 2 preset. Now out of all of them, this Presence preset is my favorite one. We have the Balance one, which also does a great job. We have the Vocal 1, we have the Vocal 2 that you're hearing now, and all of them are just amazing. It is accessible within the menu. You can make multiple presets, you can use the inbuilt presets, you can create your own, you can use compression, de-essing, everything separately, basically to set up to your voice so it sounds absolutely nice when you're recording, singing, or you're doing voiceovers like I'm doing right now. And consider that the presets offer zero latency, so you won't be having any trouble using any of the effects, so you won't be having any latency issues. The display is also very easy to read. You can choose what you're going to basically monitor on the display as well. You can monitor headphone level, you can monitor your inputs, you can monitor your outputs, such as the monitors. I always set this to monitors so I know what kind of monitoring I have in my room. But the thing that can mess you up a lot, and this took me some time to figure, is the loopback. Because once I routed the microphone, I kept hearing myself from speakers, and it took me some time to make sure I prevent that from happening. I thought it was the OBS, but it was within the Zenith too. So if you want to talk like this but still play some audio, and to avoid hearing yourself, you can go in the loopback menu and then just switch your input off so you don't hear yourself. Some people like to hear themselves so they can check how it sounds. You can also do that as well. But for me, I don't really prefer listening to myself while I'm actually speaking, which is obvious, so you can hear this audio as clean as possible. So now the price of this interface, and this is not an ad, the price on their official website is 249.17 euros. In USD, I believe this is about $300, and for $300 you're getting something that high-end interfaces have. I mean, for this price, you just shouldn't even consider if you should buy this one. But if you're looking for something like this, compact, small, that does the job, 250 euros, $300. I mean, you're paying something that's not even worth anything way over this price. This is actually worth, and it will make you smile. And I'm actually using it in these specific setups. I have multiple setups, but for this one, I'm definitely using this for monitoring and also recording my future videos. Even though I work with higher class Antelope interfaces, this one is just super simple. Now there's a thing I don't like about this interface, and I say to Antelope Audio they need to implement this as soon as possible on some of the future interfaces within this specific range with, let's say, budget interfaces. I want to see this interface being expandable. So I need some kind of a ADAT or maybe SPDIF or some kind of connection so I can expand with multiple interfaces, or so I can use possibly some analog gear. That would be very nice to see on this. But again, I simply love Antelope Audio, good job on this one, but that's a piece of advice. I mean, I'm not a product developer. So again, this was the review for someone who actually uses this to the absolute maximum, works with analog gear, works with different interfaces. Make sure to check it out, let me know what you think. And if you have any of the Antelope's interfaces, including this one, make sure you let me know down in the comments what you think about the products, software, and also everything. I also use their software, and I'm going to make more videos on them as well. Until then, Zenith 2 is the thing you should definitely check out.